Alrighty, y'all, what up? It's your boy Benny here, and we have our first meta report of the season. And y'all, these tournaments have been going absolutely nutty. So before we dive into that, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, definitely click that notification bell button so that we do not miss out on a thing. So just like at a glance here, these are like just kind of like what we're seeing so far, just as like a whole in terms of popularity. We're seeing Entei EX, Mega Blaziken EX, seeing a lot of Mega Absol, Darkrai, Greninja, and Oricorio. Just remember this name. Suicune EX, Greninja, still a very strong deck. Then we're following up with Jolteon. We see a Greninja EX to boost up your Suicune, but Mega Altaria has been coming through, and so let's talk about like how, right? So we have one here, Imperium Series, where we see the Mega Altaria EX and Jirachi take first place. We come in here. Mega Altaria takes a top 4 finish. We come here. Mega Altaria is number 1 and number 3. We come here. Mega Altaria is in the top 6 here, just behind Mega Blaziken EX. And while we said Mega Blaziken EX feels like the number 1 deck, like we gotta like play around with it because like it's coming in pretty close, right? Mega Altaria is saying, hey, I am here. And so there's a lot of creativity behind the scenes with these decks. So let's just go ahead and dive right on into it. But I just wanted to point out just like how cool it is that Mega Altaria is putting up these numbers so far in like all of these different kinds of builds. So here's our first deck, and it feels like Lightning is really doing a lot of work here recently, especially through Oricorio. But this deck, Luxray, is running 2 Shinx, the Hide version, 1 Luxium, 1 Luxray with Volt Bolt that does 120 anywhere else, and then Luxray 130, 2 Energy, 110 does 20 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. You have 2 Zeraora, 2 Oricorio, being able to attach that 2 energy here, attack for 110. If this gets knocked out, then you can like bring everything back for the Luxray to deal 120 from there. Luxray is just a powerful non-EX mon, and in a deck like this where you just have literally just pure non-EX mons, they have to knock out 3 of your Pokemon, one of which is a wall against these megas that we're seeing running rampant. And then we also you're getting your energy generation through Zeraora, and then your heavy hitters with either Luxray here, having to deal with 110 and 120 turn after turn with Volkner is really hard. And like if we take a look here, we see like Luxray is just like it's winning. And so that's really cool to see that this card can make it up at the top with all of these megas that are in the game, especially if you're able to like hit the flash impact on a mega, they try to run away, you just snipe them in the back with your second Luxray, and you have time to build that up because they need to get 3 Pokemon. So that's like really cool there. Then, of course, we have our Mega Blaziken EX. There's a lot of experimentation that's happening in terms of finding the best cards to like really play with it. I've seen, shout out to Zatumi, where he has been playing this with Sylveon, boosted with the boosted EVs to get more of that draw power. Folks are using Entei EX as another variation here, which is what we're seeing in the tournament scenes right now. So it's kind of interesting to see which one plays out. But with Flame Patch, and it's 2 energy to attack right away and then retreating, and then you can flame patch the energy back up. You kind of have a lot of room to be able to freely move around on the board and still pack a punch with your Mega Blaziken EX and then attacking for 140. The Lily has been key in terms of trying to keep that sustainability, because once your Mega takes a little bit too much damage, folks are running Cyrus, so even you retreating away doesn't like really incorporate a lot. So having that additional heal here is super helpful, but the damage between Burn, Rocky Helmet, and obviously the 120 definitely takes out a lot of opponents, and this also helps you deal with that pesky Oricorio. Then we move on to our next one here, which has been a a pretty cool, like, interesting mix here. Again, we're seeing the yellow bird. We're having Pichu being used as an energy generation, of course, for the Oricorio, but you have a lot of opportunities here to attack with Pichu, or attach energy with Pichu, attack with Oricorio, making sure that they have to take this down. In between the time, you have your Mega Absol ready to go, and then it can knock out something. You have the pinging with the Darkrai as well. You are disrupting what your opponent is trying to do by literally discarding their hand in the Mega Absol, and then you have the rest of these supporters to really sort out. Copycat is a very interesting choice, just because you have to hope that your opponent is playing into these draws and are building up their hands in order for Copycat to really take into effect here. But if they do, and you're going into these, like, you know, Suicunes, or you're going into the Entei because of the Mega Blaziken, you can really generate a lot off of this Copycat. And then we continue to see even more lightning decks, y'all. And this has been, this is definitely like a creative juicer. I haven't seen this out in the PvP yet, but for this to like pop up in like the top half of these decks, right? Like, I'm only really looking at, you know, the top 4 spots in all of these, just to kind of really bring out the best for this week especially. And we're seeing Galvantula Mega Ampharos EX here. So taking a look at both of these. This Galvantula, 80 HP, discard all energy attached to this Pokemon. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. That just does a lot of work for you in terms of being able to buy you time. It knocks out 70, it knocks out the Oricorios immediately if you're running into those opposing ones. But then to stop your opponent's Mega from attacking, and then you get to retreat for free, and then go into a Mega Ampharos and attack for 100 is pretty great. Second Galvantula means that your defending Pokemon can't retreat. So if you're attacking for that 70 once again into a Mega, they have to just eat that. And then even if they knock this out or something else, they can't run away after having that 70. So they can only heal or add a keep, which means that could be lethal damage, especially because you have your Mega Ampharos that attacks for 100 and that 60 additional in the back. If they eventually are able to run away, you can always pull them back with Cyrus. But like, this idea of where they can't run away is pretty good here. You can get away with having either both Electro Webs, which could be cool here, but the Galvantula also serves as a free retreat, where like it's also okay. So yeah, this is a lightning deck that isn't running Oricorio, but it really is all gas here, because you have your Pichu, you have your Galvantulas that are hitting for 70. You are getting another smaller version here with Ampharos. It's 80, and you flip, you get to deal 40 more damage, but if it's tails, you deal 20 to yourself. So you have a lot of heavy hitters here, and I think the way to like draw into these cards is where the Copycat comes on in. Then we run into another Luxray deck, which, like, again, we talked about it earlier before. Luxray has gotten a boost because of its non-EX, because it's powerful hitting, and now that you have the ability to snipe a potential game win, Luxray has now seen a lot of love, right? Attacking for chipping away at 50, and they get knocked out. The Oricorio 50, that's 100 damage, 120. Megas don't have, no Mega yet has over 220 damage, right? Like, that's just a lot to win the game here. So that's what you see. What's been really cool, and you can like do this a lot, is this Delcatty. 80 HP, search for friends. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your card to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may play a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. So what you do is you keep Skitty on the board. You Luxray, Volt, Volkner, attack, evolve into your Delcatty, bring the Volkner back, Volkner, attack. Like, you're just hitting an array of 120 turn after turn, and like the Volkner just doesn't go away. You Delcatty, get your additional Professor's Research to find your other pieces. It's just like, Delcatty can be very a secret tech here to be able to do that, which is like, insane, to make for insane plays that like your opponent can't really play for, just because that could be an additional Cyrus, that could be an additional Vulcaner, that could be an additional Professor's Research, and like these 3 key cards can win you games in tight spots. So Delcatty actually doesn't have a miss with any of these cards in this deck. And then we continue on to Mega Altaria EX, which has been the surprise, right? So Mega Altaria, baby non-X Altaria, 1 Tapu Lele, 1 EDD EX here, or 2, excuse me. So name of the game here is you're really building up to your Altaria, and now that you have this out here, if you can get in DDD and in DDD, you're healing 40 per turn. That is a lot of health. Okay, 40 damage onto a mon that's dealing 130 per turn to your opponent. They attack you, you get to heal up for 40 after that. It's very hard for them to really keep up with that. And then if they start attaching energy or trying to hide, Tapu Lele can come in. Altaria here is to deal damage to your Oricorios, so you have a lot of answers here. Yes, the DDD can be used as an attack, but you're really trying to use it as a supporter to really get your Mega Altaria. But what's really nice is that Mega Altaria is only 2 energy to deal that 130, so you can actually power up anything else that you want to on the back here. May has been a very, very great addition to these multiple Pokemon that are like it, right? Like 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 Pokemon. May it up and you're good, right? Like you can find these cards and make these like stage 1s or stage 2s or decks that don't have draw much more consistent, and I really do like this addition into the game. We continue into another version of Mega Altaria EX, where it's kind of like the baby meta, right? So we have Tyro that's being able to deal damage, Elekid that deals damage 30 to the back. We have Chingling to stop your opponent from being able to play Pokeball, from being able to rare candy or anything else like that. So this is like getting you, this really does shut things down, especially in the beginning of the game, which is like really clutch here. So it would deny any evolutions or speed up into it to make them draw naturally into it. And because they have to wait for their stage 1, especially for rare candies, you really do take advantage of that. Alicia here is a really great addition because you have 2, 3, 4 cards, or 6 cards, 6 basics that are 50 HP or less, and so you are drawing potentially Professor's Research, you are definitely drawing Alicia, you are definitely drawing with Pokeball, so you're getting those opportunities to do that, and the Pokemon communication can ship these out to make sure that you get your Evo every single time. Then we have this Meowscarada Pheromosa deck here. This is like really fun to see an Ultra Beast in a deck that's just like grass centered, right? So Meowscarada is helping you take out, or at least put a lot of damage into those megas, into those powerful EXs. It deals 130 going into those, which you'll be able to do that more often. Pheromosa being able to snipe the back to then Cyrus it back up, and then you'll be able to deal 130. Celebi devolves those Pokemon, so if you soften them up with Pheromosa and then you hit them with Celebi, they get knocked out and then therefore they can't play it again, which has been really cool. And Klefki, for those of you who don't know, once during your turn, this Pokemon's on your bench, you may discard all of your Pokemon tools from your opponent's active Pokemon if you do discard this Pokemon. So if any of those folks have like a cape or anything else like that, that you know that like, hey, this is what's stopping me from winning the game, discard this card, take that out there, then deal your attack, win the game, and you're going from there. These newer Pokemon or basic Pokemon that are like more utility has been surprisingly really good. Then we have Silvally Oricorio. Again, Lightning has been up on this whole piece here, and they're just essentially saying, hey, I'm gas, I'm going to be dealing 100 damage, or I'm going to be hiding behind my wall and you can't do a thing about it. Having 2 Oricorios on the board is really hard for folks to deal with, just because they can't Sabrina or Repel or do anything without having the other Oricorio out. And if they don't have an answer to you, then you're just being able to attack that. However, we are seeing that those decks are having more answers, but this is trying to just take advantage of low to the ground, high damage, quick attack from here. Then we continue where Suicune EX is still trying to keep up to where it's at, and the way that they are evolving is by adding an Oricorio on top of their their gas here. So Greninja stays the same, Suicune stays the same, Giratina stays the same. Add your Oricorio to help slow down what your opponent's trying to do while building up your control between the Giratina, the Suicune, and the Greninja here. You can hide behind this Oricorio wall, you can snipe with the Water Shuriken, you can get it lowered enough so that way this 130 does enough damage as well too, to opposing folks, or like it really getting yourself ready for an attack with Suicune. And then last but not least, we have the Hydreigon meta here. This is like better Rampardos. Like, I don't know. You do deal 30 damage to yourself, but it's not 50 damage to yourself. You get to attack for 130 damage for free, essentially, for 1 energy, because you're building up that 2 energy from the energy zone. The Find a Friend and Sylveon allows you to get your pieces very quickly, and your Mega Absol, you can see how the game is going to decide whether or not you want to play it and get yourself ready for it, or start off with it as well too. So there's a lot of opportunities there. Between having a Lily on there though and having turns where you're able to attack for the 130, you have the cape there to also boost you up as well too. It can possibly attack 150 with the red. It's just really strong card. And we have so many different ways of ensuring that you're getting to your Hydreigon, which makes this really nice. But let me know, y'all, what are y'all excited about? What new decks are y'all playing? There are literally so many now, and so many different things that are doing really well at high competitive standards here. So test out some of these decks, test out all of these decks, or just sit at home with a comfort deck. But let me know what you're playing. I definitely would love to hear that in the comment section below. And as always, if you're feeling the vibes of this channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, definitely click the notification bell button, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace!